Dear CA Inter Buddies, in this video, we are going to discuss approach towards the upcoming January 25 exams, which order of chapters to be followed while doing the revision. I will guide you the chapter-wise order, which is most advisable. Okay, so this plan, it's not for first time studying, it's mainly the plan for revising the audit. Okay, so let's start. Yes. So as you all know, in auditing, we have how many chapters? In CA Inter Auditing, we have 11 chapters, right? So starting with the first slot, okay? I'm going to divide these 11 chapters into different slots. First slot, what you will start with. We will start with this particular chapter. You know what? Nature, objective, and scope of audit. That's a very simple chapter, but that's a basic chapter. Okay. In that chapter, you will be covering essay 200, mainly essay 200 and other topics. Once you have done with nature, objective, and scope of audit, now come to ethics and terms of engagement. Ma'am, why? Why to jump to the chapter 11? Because there are certain terms which you hear in chapter 1, like a review, assurance, quality control. Same is repeated in chapter 11 also. Moreover, chapter 11 also deals with essay 200 series, which is nothing but essay 210, 220 SQC. Now, once you completed chapter number 1 and chapter number 11, now jump to chapter number 6. Why chapter number 6? Again, chapter number 6 is 200 series, which is essay 230. Not only that, there is a connection between these chapters. You know what? Chapter number 11 and chapter number 6. Because chapter 11 says about quality control, right? One of the part of quality control is to maintain the audit documentation. So we finished chapter 1, then we came to chapter 11, and then we completed chapter 6. Now, going to the next chapter in the first slot. Audit strategy, planning, and program. Now, why? There are certain terms which you hear in chapter 11, like ethical requirement, terms of engagement. All these are repeated in chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 is basically 300, planning. Now, let's put this as the first slot. Okay, so slot number 1, nature, objective, and scope of audit. Then ethics, chapter 11, ethics and terms. Then audit documentation and audit strategy, planning, and program. So that's the first slot. And now showing the weightage. Okay, chapter 1, 11, 6, 2. 1 is approximately 4 to 6 marks. 11 is 8 to 10 marks. 6 is combined with chapter number 4. Okay, so I'm not putting any weightage now. 8 to 12 marks. So that's the first slot. Slot 1. Okay, chapter 1, 11, 6, and 2. Which altogether approximately how much weightage? Just see. If you take the average of 5, 10, 10, yeah, we would have already covered around 25 marks, right? That's slot 1. Now in slot 2, you can go for very important chapter, which is audit evidence. Evidence, which series? 500, 501, 505, 510, 520, 530, 550. Mainly 500 series and also essay 610. So that's a huge chapter which is having a weightage also. Then in the second slot, you can go with completion and review, which is continuation of 500 series, 560, 570, 580. After that, essay 260, 265, 450. So in the slot number 2, second slot, okay, slot 2, you can go with chapter number 4 and chapter number 7. Why did we put like this? 4, 500 series, basically 7, continuation of 500 series. Both these chapters, if you see the weightage, okay, 12 to 18 marks, here somewhat 8 to 12 marks. So if you take on an average around 10 plus 15, yeah, around 25% or 25 marks will come from this 2 chapters. That's slot 2. Now moving on to the slot 3. What chapters? Which chapters? In slot 3, what we'll do is we'll go with audit report. Audit report is basically 700 series, 700, 701, 705, 706, and 10. Along with that, you have 299 and 600. That's chapter 8. And also, we will go with risk assessment and internal control. Risk assessment part, essay 315, 330, materiality 320, plus internal control. So that's the slot number 3, right? So in slot number 3, what we will do is chapter 8 and chapter 3. These 2 chapters, chapter 8 and 3. Again, approximately around 20 marks. Okay. So we finished 3 slots. Now going to the last slot. In the last slot, you can go with these 2 chapters. First, I think you can start with audit of bank. In that, drawing power calculation, provision calculation, etc. can be asked. Then go for audit of different types of entities. Right? These 2 chapters, together they say weightage 12 to 18 marks. So our slot 4, which is chapter number 10 and 9. First we'll finish 10, then come back to 9 in my order. So approximately 15 marks. Okay. Now, if you see, all the chapters we have covered in the slot, except this particular chapter. Ma'am, what to do? That's one of the chapter which is having the most weightage, around 12 to 18 or 20 marks. So chapter number 5 alone, 15 marks on an average. Now my advice is, as I said in the beginning, this is a plan for revision and not for the class or studies. Okay. So when you revise, assuming you guys have read through all the chapters or you have attended the class, you have the knowledge. Okay. So what you'll do is, this particular chapter, don't study at one go, because there are a lot of items, balance sheet items. How do you do the audit of share capital, borrowing, trade payables, trade receivables, property, plant and equipment, inventories, etc. Similarly, you have P&L account items like sales, other income, purchases, expenses, etc. and disclosure requirement. So my suggestion is, what you'll do is, this particular chapter, you can take it on a daily basis or alternative day. Say, for example, when you are studying the first slot, okay, in between, cover 3 or 4 items in audit of items in financial statement. Like, say, for example, you will cover the share capital, you will cover borrowing, you will cover reserves and surplus, you will cover trade payables. Again, when you're doing the second slot, another 4 to 5 items. Again, while doing third slot, you cover another 4 to 5 items and so on. So while you finish 4 slots, that chapter should be almost over. If anything is pending, after slot 4, you can spend it. So guys, this is just the chapter-wise order, which I just suggested for you so that you can connect it and learn. Okay. So we will be starting the mentoring program. All the details will be updated in my WhatsApp channel. The link of the same I will provide in the description. And guys, one of the most important things which I want to address in this is, see, you have finished slot number 1. Okay. Maybe you will take, say, for completing chapter number 1 revision, you may take 4 to 5 hours. Then for chapter 11, you may take again 5 hours. Then again for chapter 6, you may take 2 hours. For chapter 2, you may take approximately 4 hours. Okay. So I'm just putting an approximate. Okay. And you may complete the slot in 4 to 5 days. After this slot number, 1. Once you complete hours and days, I'm putting approximately. In the mentoring program, we will go day wise. Okay. So once you've completed this particular slot, okay, mandatorily take a day off. Why? Don't study in that day. You will revise all these chapters. Say a day you are taking auditing for 3 hours. In that 3 hours, I said to take a rest off day. In that 3 hours or 3.5 hours, which is allotted for auditing, what you will do? You will revise all these 4 chapters. Ma'am, how to revise 4 chapters in 3 or 4 hours? Hey, come on, guys. I'm not asking you to go through each and every line, each and every topic. Okay, just glance through. If you have my material, I've given the summary charts, etc. I mean, in front of every chapters. So just glance through. Or if you have the short notes, just turn back and look. That is mandatory. Again, after you finish slot number 2, okay, again take 1 or 2 days off and revise chapter 4 plus 7. Again, plus glance through chapter 1, 11, 6 and 2. Why? Because by that time when you cover these 2 chapters, okay, these 2 are little big chapters, again it will be another 4 to 6 days or 5 days. Okay, so you would have started to forget this. So again, just glance through and revise these 2. After that, when you come to slot number 3, okay, you finish these 2 chapters, chapter 8 and 3. Again take 2 days off or 1 day off, whatever it is, as per your schedule. Then revise all these. Revise 8 and 3 and glance through the previous 2 slot topics. Again, slot 4, repeat this. As I've already said, I mean, in my YouTube sessions, I always believe revision should go with the studies. Because if you keep revision to be done only, I mean, second round of revision, only after completing all the topics once, no, you would have forgotten. So do cumulative revision. I think that is most effective method. Okay. So that's it, guys, about these slots. You have 2 full months in your hand. Okay. So prepare well, revise well, and believe that auditing is a scoring subject. Yes, you heard it right. Auditing is a scoring subject, provided we have conceptual clarity. We know the presentation format. Once you know these 2, you can address the exam. With conceptual clarity, you can attend the MCQ. With the presentation, you can attend the descriptive. And forgetting is not a issue here because it's part of the subject here. Keep on revising, and trust me, in the examination hall, when you see the question, it will come to your mind. So for any further doubts, you can WhatsApp me. Number also I will put it in the description box. So keep going, trust yourself, believe yourself. You are strong, you are brave than what you think. So take care, all the best.